Recipe for the state budget crisis: tax increases, spending cuts, and the use of federal stimulus money. That is how Governor Jan Brewer today said she planned to close a projected $3 billion budget deficit. Frank Camacho is live now with details of her plans. Frank.
Well, right going in, Governor Brewer knew that she wasn't going to please everyone with her budget proposals, and she was right. Republicans don't like the idea of any tax increase. Democrats don't want any legislative interference with Proposition 105. That's the Voter Protection Act. So the fact that not everyone is very happy about this comes as no surprise to one Brewer insider who told me today that things are likely to get very, very ugly.
Members of the legislature, the Honorable Janice K. Brewer, Governor of the state of Arizona.
The governor received a polite, if not especially warm, reception. She used this rare opportunity of addressing a joint legislative session to outline her plan to fix the state's broken budget. There are 5 essential steps to the governor's proposal, including budget cuts.
So more cuts will be painful, but they must be done. Make no mistake, a budget without further reductions will not receive my signature.
A tax cut effective in 2012, which will lead to the creation of jobs.
I have no greater focus than to grow jobs in Arizona. And if you give us the tools, we will deliver.
But in the meantime, the governor says a temporary tax increase will be necessary.
I do not propose these steps lightly, and you would not hear me utter these words if I did not firmly and confidently believe that it is absolutely necessary.
Well, Steve Voller of AZ Free Enterprise opposes any tax increase, but agrees with the governor more budget cuts are needed.
And that's not easy to say, it's not easy to do. But I think the average Arizona voter is going to appreciate the fact that while they're tightening their belts, government is also tightening its belt.
Assistant House Minority Leader Kirsten Sinema doesn't think the public should be asked to do the legislature's job when it comes to raising taxes.
That's our job. That's why we're elected. That's why we're down here. And I think it's our responsibility to do that. I'm not sure that asking the voters to do our hard work for us is, very responsible.
And the fact that both Democrats and Republicans are not in favor of a sales tax increase, either voting it themselves or referring it to the voters later on this year, is an indication that that idea is probably dead on arrival unless the governor is able to change some minds. And right now, Patty, as we understand it, she does not have the votes for that sales tax increase. Reporting live from the state capitol, I'm Frank Camacho, 3TV, the place with more news.
At the same time, Frank, of course, Governor Brewer is Republican, and as you know, both houses are dominated by Republicans. So why wouldn't her proposals carry the day down there at the legislature?
Well, as far as the sales tax increase is concerned, that's because that fundamentally most of the members of both majority caucuses in the House and Senate are fundamentally against any kind of tax increase, regardless of the reason and regardless of who is proposing that tax increase. She is floating this idea, some people think, because she's positioning herself for the 2010 campaign, where she can go to the voters and say, see, I tried to get this to you so that you could vote on it, but the legislature wouldn't go along.
Yeah, she did call it a measure of last resort. Thank you very much for that, Frank.